They say you never truly know the importance of a thing until you lose it. And that goes double, especially for our personal data. So today we're going to be talking about the 3 levels of safekeeping your data, sponsored by Steller and their data recovery software. Let's begin. So first level, and this is the easiest you can do, is data organization. Data loss can take a lot of forms. Hardware failure, accidental deletion, or losing the data because you just don't remember where you put it. Taas kamay kung sino dito yung malinis ang downloads folder. O di ba wala? And that's truly the crux of the problem. We download stuff, use them, and basically forget about them. And what we're left with are gigantic folders with a mishmash of file and different document types. You can start at this level by putting files into relevant folders. Put your documents in the documents folder, your images in the pictures folder, so on and so forth. You can also, of course, make custom folders for very important files. And the basic idea here is to put files where they belong. Basically, the end goal here is you want the downloads folder to be clean. You want it to be empty. So once you've downloaded a file, you either move them to the relevant folder or delete unneeded ones. Also, personally for me, and I really do think this should be the global standard, the desktop should also be clean. You should only have program shortcuts there. And actually for me, my desktop is completely empty. The key here is to start thinking and associating files with folders that you'll remember. So doing this practice, if you're going to be looking for a work file, it's most likely going to be in the documents folder or a folder that you created. This will of course be tedious at first if you have not been practicing any data organization at all, but once you get into the habit, it will be second nature. You can level this up by aptly renaming your files. So if you have a picture of your cat, instead of img003.png, rename it to the name of your cat plus the date or something. Level 2 is cloud backup. If you have any modern devices, you're probably and most likely using one already. For Android, there's Google Drive. For Apple, there's iCloud. For Windows, there's OneDrive. And of course, a plethora of other options. For some of these, they're already integrated into the system you're using, so backups will be automatic. So there's no need for any setups. The advantage here is if you accidentally deleted a file or lose your local copy, there will be a copy that you can later retrieve in the cloud, provided that it has been uploaded. The caveat here, of course, is cloud storage can get expensive, and with just the nature of the cloud, it is over the internet. So sometimes uploads can be glitched or outright fail. So you might be confident that your file is backed up, only to be surprised later that the upload for that has failed and you no longer have a copy. This is where our sponsor Steller comes in. Their data recovery software specializes on accidentally deleted files or corrupted files because of hardware failure. Most of us know that pressing Shift-Delete on a file permanently deletes it on Windows. I'm saying it in quotations because technically the file can still be there. The OS just marks the space that the file occupies as available for use. So once you write another file, that space can be occupied or used. However, in some cases, that space is still not occupied, and therefore the file can still be recoverable. And that is what Steller can detect. Using the software is very easy. Once installed, you get a screen where you have the option to scan for recently deleted or lost files. You can either choose to scan your entire system or just a specific folder. For our test, we used the specific folder and deep scan option. Depending on the contents of your drive, the scan can take a really long time. But once done, we are given a tree view of the files that it can recover. There's a tab specifically for recently deleted files, and it shows it in the last location. So it's the last folder it's in. By default, everything recoverable is checked, but of course, you can just select the file that you need to recover. This software also works with corrupted drives, but of course, with varying degrees of success. It still depends on the state of the file you're recovering. Sometimes it's recoverable, sometimes, unfortunately, it's not. However, for very important files, it's always worth a shot to try and recover it. And this software is a great tool for that. It comes in different variations and pricing that you can tailor to your needs. And other than data recovery, they also have software that specializes in repairing and recovering photos, videos, or other systems like Mac or iPhone. So head to stellerinfo.com if you want to check them out. And finally, level 3 is data redundancy. This makes use of specialized hardware configurations like RAID, where your system can recover or recreate entire failed drives as long as there's still a working drive. While this is configurable, you of course need additional hardware in the form of additional drives. And you're basically trading off capacity for data redundancy. You can level this up by making use of additional hardware such as NAS or network-attached storage devices, and you can also configure RAID into that as well. So in the event that your PC or device fails completely, like it's destroyed, your backup is still accessible from a different device. So while you can also call level 2, cloud services as data redundancy, with this level, you have full control of your data. You know where your data is, and you're not in the mercy of some corporate giant, and you know that your data is not being used to train AI models, to tailor ads for you, and so on. This level can potentially be the most expensive one and the hardest to set up. But out of all the three that we've discussed, this is the safest. So in conclusion, it's a bit weird that we talked about the practice that prevents having to use the software from our sponsor. But that's because data recovery software should only and always be the last resort that you do. Sort of like instead of wearing alligator-proof armor and wielding anti-alligator weapons when swimming in alligator-infested waters, maybe the best practice is to do your best to avoid swimming in alligator-infested waters. And that goes the same with safekeeping your data. However, of course, we're not always perfect, and in the event that you do need to recover data, it's a good thing that we have a solid option like the Stellar's data recovery software. Again, if you want to check them out, visit stellarainfo.com, and thank you for watching.